What's going on, guys? My name is Zach Spitzer, aka Spitz VGC, and today I'll be breaking down my Week 2 match against the Paniola Town Pangoros. Last week we were able to get a Week 1 win against a very tough opponent, and we've got another tough opponent coming up for this week. We are going up against Blake Mullins, who is a multiple-time Day 2 player in the VGC scene. He is also a heavy contributor to the indie VGC socials, and he's also kind of a wild character when it comes to his team building. He is particularly unique when it comes to the best of one strategies that he comes up with, and he gets to use those strategies in draft. So I have to be on my toes this week to try and pick up my second win. With that, let's break down the team that I will be going up against this week. So this is the team that I will be playing against this week. It'll be piloted by Blake Mullins. His team is the Paniola Town Pangoros. He went up against the Undella Town Umbreons last week and came away with the win. And his team has several scary components that I am looking to counter this week. As you might notice, his team is very setup oriented, or at least it can be. Charizard X is very commonly known in the VGC metagame for using Dragon Dance. Gyarados basically does the exact same thing, and then Torterra, of course, has Shell Smash to be able to boost its speed and boost its attacks and enable a potential sweeper mode. Those actually aren't the Pokemon I'm most worried about this week. For me, I am looking at that Vivillon, and I'm looking at that Blaziken. So Vivillon, what it can do is, with its ability Compound Eyes, it can put a lot of stuff to sleep with 98% accuracy, and the Blaziken can enable the two major Megas on this team with coaching and the ability to boost its speed with its ability Speed Boost. So those are the Pokemon I'm going to be trying to counter for the most part this week. I'm looking at those 5, and then I think one of either Houndstone, Chimecho, or Aurorus could come this week. I think if Blake wanted to use a Trick Room mode, he could go with Chimecho. I don't expect Aurorus to come this week, though I'm certainly going to be respecting it in the team building process. And then Houndstone can be a very dangerous sweeper with last respects, so I do have to give it some respect as well. So this is the team I will be expecting. Of the 8 here, I expect he'll drop Aurorus and one of either Houndstone or Chimecho. Not sure which. I would probably lean towards the Houndstone if I had to guess, but honestly, I think all 8 of his Pokemon here are totally viable this week. So this is the team that I will be using to go up against Blake this week. It is going to start specifically with Balogun, my Paldean Aqua Tauros. So the spread this week is the exact same as it was last week, with one specific important component here, and that's that this Tauros is holding the Choice Scarf. So because of that Choice Scarf, I'll be able to outspeed Charizard, Gyarados, and Blaziken after they each get a speed boost. I'll also be able to outspeed Choice Scarf Vivillon, which I expect to be Blake's main form of support this week. Rock Tomb will be able to one-hit KO Vivillon, unless it gets intimidated, but with Helping Hand support, I can get around and intimidate and still pick up that one shot. It's going to be my key to slowing Blake down this week. It'll also be able to outspeed Torterra after a Shell Smash, so I'll be able to use that in combo with my other Pokemon this week to try and keep Blake's Pokemon under check. The second Pokemon I'm bringing this week is Richards the Clefable. So the spread's going to be the exact same. It's not for anything specific. It's a more general spread that will make me feel a bit more comfortable with what I'm working with. Moonblast will give me damage. Helping Hand will allow me to support my other Pokemon through Intimidates. And Follow Me, of course, will keep my other Pokemon safe. The big tech this week is going to be Thunderbolt. So when Blake sees this Clefable with his Gyarados, he may be a little bit hesitant to actually go for his big Mega into Mega Gyarados, because Moonblast would just potentially one-shot it or do a ton of damage. So his big way to get around that is to just hold off on the Mega and then clear the Clefable first before he can do that. But if he does that, Thunderbolt here will be able to almost one-shot Gyarados. It will one-shot with Helping Hand support, and if I don't pick up that KO, it'll put it anywhere from like 10 to 20% for no bulk Gyarados. So this is going to be my tech to cover that this week. My third Pokemon here is going to be McKinney, the Rotom fan. Fun fact, Blake has set up a bet with me where if I bring Rotom Fan and then I actually pick up a KO with it, he won't use any Megas next week. So hopefully we will be able to pick up a KO with this Rotom Fan, but McKinney will be making their draft debut this week. Electro Web is going to be able to kind of outpace some of the speed boosting stuff that I expect to run into this week. Light Screen will be able to help keep some of my Pokemon safe on the special side, whereas Will-O-Wisp will be able to slow down his Gyarados and other major physical attackers on the physical side. Air Slash is kind of a really nice coverage move to cover for Pokemon like Torterra, and for Blaziken, and for a couple of others. I expect that Blaziken will be special this week, a special attacker, so I want ways to be able to reduce that damage. I did consider Eerie Impulse here, but ultimately I decided that Light Screen was probably going to be a more consistent way to get around that. Rotom also has a Lump Berry, so that means that it will be able to take one Sleep Powder from a potential Vivillon, and then fire back with an Air Slash or an Electro Web or something else along those lines. Turner the Aggron, aka The Wall, is making his debut, or I guess her debut this week. So this is going to be a little bit of an unconventional set. I went back and forth on using Protect or a coverage move like Stone Edge, but ultimately decided that being able to keep Aggron safe mattered more than anything else. Heavy Slam powers well with Curse to be able to boost Aggron's damage output. On top of that, Body Press is just a really, really good move to be able to get consistent damage down across the board. I found that with one Curse and one Intimidate, a Torterra that I went up against in practice did not even do 10% damage with an Earthquake, which is insane to me. This thing is just really, really good on the physical side. Of course, the big weakness for Aggron is that the special bulk isn't entirely there. So we've dedicated all of our points this week to making sure that we can keep ourselves as safe on the special side as we possibly can. I think that Blake's main special attacker is going to be Blaziken, so that's the Pokemon I kind of have my eye on for this week. I think if I can clear the Blaziken with some of my other pieces, then Aggron's in a really, really good position to sweep. I expect I will probably end up using her as more of like a switch up lead to try and sweep via Body Press. Pulisic the Delphox also makes a return this week with the proper moveset this time. So we have decided to kind of go with a little bit of a less conventional set. We've dropped Nasty Plot, which is a conventional move on this Pokemon, and we've instead added it with Encore. This combo's super nice with Tauros's Rock Tomb. So this will allow me to essentially hit a Pokemon that's boosted with speed with a Rock Tomb if they protect it or they used a setup move, and then Encore will then force them to keep using Protect or that setup move and not get any use out of their Mons for a couple of turns, putting myself in position to potentially knock them out. So this is going to be a very core piece to making sure that Blake's Mons don't get too far out of control. The defense here allows Pulisic to survive a -1 crunch from Max Attack Adamant Mega Gyarados. The speed here is designed to kind of outspeed a few things. It outspeeds Charizard outside of Mega, and then outspeeds a few other Pokemon within Mega, and then the rest is just a special attack dump. But this is going to be Delphox this week. Finally, we have Adams, our Gourgeist. So this Gourgeist here is going to use a slightly different set from last week. This time around, we're focusing a lot more on the physical defense side. So this will hit that second defense bump on the Relaxed in Nature. Still going to go for min speed just in case Blake decides to try some type of a Trick Room strategy. And this time around, we're going to use 2 attacking moves. So Seed Bomb is just consistent damage into stuff like Aurorus and Torterra and Gyarados. And Poltergeist will allow me to hit Houndstone, and it'll allow me to hit Chimecho for super effective damage. Also, if a Pokemon were to switch in outside of Frisk, then Poltergeist will also give me the opportunity to see what their item might be. So just a pretty good general attacker inside of Trick Room. I think it combos really, really well with Aggron. The item this week is going to be the Akaberry. So the Akaberry will have the power of Fire-type attacks. This will allow Adams to survive 2 Heat Waves from a decently invested Blaziken, and also survive attacks like Mega Charizard, Flare Blitz as well. Will help me set up for Trick Room a little bit more nicely. Additionally, with this spread, Gourgeist should survive a -1 crunch from that Mega Gyarados spread, and I might be able to survive 2 as well with the way that we've got this set up. And so that will be the team that we'll use in week 2 this week. Let's go on ahead and get right to the battles. Okay. Okay, so I see Chimecho, I see Torterra, I see Houndstone. No Blaziken this week. Okay. That is actually a big surprise to me. Gyarados. A little surprised to not see Blaziken. Unfortunately, my pen is not writing very well right now, but that's okay. I think most of our leads still work here. I'm guessing he's probably going to go for some type of a curse angle with Chimecho. So we'll go with our game 1 standard lead here with these 2 and then these 2. I think this is going to be our best bets. Hopefully find a pen that works. Yeah, we'll lock those guys. Those. Alright, Zard, Mecha lead. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what to expect out of this lead this time around. Feels like a Trick Room angle. Don't know that I want to reveal Rock Tomb yet, so we're gonna go for Wave Crash, Mega, go Wave. I don't really love how my Delphox is positioned right now. I'm gonna have to figure out a way around that. I'm not really sure what the move is, but I don't think it has Curse. I got that going for me at least. And I don't know what the Chimecho item is. Okay, so we at least get the Protect. That's good. Crit here would be huge. Ah, very physically bulky. Okay. Bulky. Okay, Citrus. So this kind of makes sense. Let's switch into Fable. Protect. I'm assuming a Psychic's coming out from Chimecho here. And I want to respect that. Okay, ally switch on Chimecho. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. Problem is he has to Flare Blitz my Chimecho kind of get any real value out of this. I actually don't think that this is that bad. So I think I follow me here. I'll probably lose Clefable, but I think that's fine. I'm gonna Heat Wave. I'm gonna try and get the Chimecho here. I could go for Psychic. Okay, sweet. Okay, so Follow Me really helps me out. Oh. Oh, lordy, that did so much damage. Whoa. Okay, alright. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. Oh, that's actually really bad. My goodness. Okay. Really physically bulky Chimecho, so Aqua Jet's probably not gonna pick up. Sheesh. Yeah, okay, yeah, he's got me in a bad spot here. I hope I can survive a plus my Breaking Swipe. Yeah, I gotta make sure that you can't get that set up right. I still don't think I survived this thing. Golly. Oh, man. Okay, this is so bad. Super booms me. Last turn Trick Room. I don't think that helps me though. Ah, that's so bad. Oh, okay, yeah, that's bad. That's really, really bad. I couldn't even get the back mods. That's so bad. Okay. Unaware at least kind of saves me here. So I'm at least gonna get a couple mines. Super got me here. Okay, yeah, so Choice Scarf. Vivian most likely. That's no surprise. Okay, gotta give him credit. Yeah, he totally got me on that. So now what's the adjustment? Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea how to adjust to that. Okay. Yeah, I figured it was some type of setup, but the problem is that the Trick Room just makes it so difficult. I can't really make it my Clefable either, because if I do, I give up Unaware. Okay. So I'd expect an adjustment here. I think I could try my Trick Room mode here. Q3. The one benefit here for me is that what is the one benefit for me? I don't even know what the one benefit is. Oh, this is so bad. Yeah, I just kind of got my stuff rocked. I think it's Tauros. Man, I hate this. Oh yeah, you totally got me on prep. Okay, same leads. Nothing crazy here. I almost wonder if it's just good to go for damage here. I would expect something like Mystical Fire. This feels like the wrong play, but I'm gonna go for it anyways. Okay. Bodrum? Okay, alright, so I think this... Then if... I don't even know if the double up picks up though is the issue. Yeah, I suspect it might not actually. Come on, Poltergeist, help me out here. Yeah. Yeah, I had a feeling. Okay. I think we'll try to go for damage on Chimecho. Okay, good switch. Okay. Focus Sash. Okay. I think we'll bring in... See, does Rotom even help me here? I'm not sure that does. It's probably max speed, right? Did I Heavy Slam here? Yeah, I think I just ran. Yeah, I just ran out of time. Shoot. Okay, so it's not completely over yet, but it is looking very not good. Yeah, should have been a Heavy Slam into the VBO, and that's my mistake. Okay, I have to protect. Electro Web. Are you kidding? Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that legit might be game losing. I cannot believe that. That's so bad. That's such a bad miss. Yeah, I think I just lose now. I hope I can survive a +5 tempo. Hey, that's what it comes down to. That's... Oh, that's so bad. Yeah. God, he even got me in the protect too. Yeah, well played by Blake. Oh man, he killed me this week. That's gotta be max physical bulk too. Yeah, GG's to Blake. He totally booms me on prep this week. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that one. Great set. I'm trying to think if there's even any world where I could have potentially gotten around that. It's like, maybe I should have, like, trusted the Rhyperior a bit more this week. Figured that the belly drum was, like, I figured some type of setup was coming. Yeah. He protected his Pokemon really well. I gotta give him props there. So, GG's to Blake. Absolutely killed me on prep this week. That'll knock me down to 1-1. At least some of my Pokemon get breeds. So there's that. But yeah, no, that was a crazy cook. I gotta give him props where props are due. So after that beatdown, I think it is time to do some takeaways. It is important that I do takeaways not only in my wins, but in my losses as well, so I'll know what to improve going forward. To be honest, there wasn't really a lot that worked this week. I mean, my nicknames were cool, so I guess I had that going for me. And I also think that Clefable, in a better built team comp for me, could have put in some work. It was the one piece that I thought could really potentially break through what Blake was bringing this week. Outside of that, not really a lot that worked this week. This is just one of those weeks where you just get thoroughly out-prepped. It happens sometimes in draft, and you have to just accept those losses as they come to you and find ways to learn from them. This one is no different. I definitely got out-prepped this week by Blake. Not really much else to it. Unfortunately, Mega Aggron didn't really feel like it was doing much of anything for me this week. I thought that Curse would be a good way to be able to not only boost my defense, but my offense as well. But honestly, I was just getting outpaced on Mega Aggron, and it was just kind of sitting on the field and not really doing much. So going forward, I'm going to have to look for ways to make Mega Aggron feel like the wall that it can be. Unfortunately, my faster team got extremely outpaced. Blake did a fantastic job of identifying a very unique and niche strategy with unique support pieces that he could use to completely boom me this week, which he absolutely did, especially in that game 1, using that Trick Room strategy with Chimico to be able to get that belly drum off and then just going from breaking swipes from there. It was not something that I at all accounted for inside of my prep, and something that I should have accounted for a little bit later. But ultimately, it was just a really, really good strategy by Blake this week. And there's not really much else that I could do other than tip my hat to him on that one. Game 2, I didn't really have the tools to adjust. This was just simply a really niche but powerful strategy that I just wasn't adequately prepared for. And it's something that I got to do a better job moving forward of finding in my prep. So unfortunately, the Mossdeep Metagross will fall to 1-1, but there's still plenty of season left and plenty of opportunities to be able to move forward with more wins. So thanks again for watching. I will see you guys next week.